Every little market dip, every unexpected bill, every judgment about your spending. If it all gets under your skin, you're giving away your power. The truth is, the most successful people with money don't necessarily know more. They've just mastered how they behave. Imagine navigating the financial world unfazed. No more emotional selling, no more chasing get-rich-quick schemes, just complete control over your financial self. In this video, I'll teach you how to train your mind to act as if nothing bothers you in the world of money. So you stop feeling trapped by market swings and societal pressures, and start owning your financial destiny instead. Because once you master this skill, nothing and no one will ever have control over your money again. Mastering the behavior over brains mindset. Life is filled with financial noise. People's opinions on where to invest, daily market frustrations, unexpected setbacks. The world is relentless in its ability to throw distractions, criticisms, and roadblocks in your financial path. But what if I told you that true strength with money comes from mastering your behavior, not accumulating knowledge? Imagine walking through a financial crisis without losing your composure. This is what it means to master the psychology of money. The key, learning to detach your emotions from external financial circumstances. When you allow market movements or others' wealth to dictate your financial mood, you become a puppet to forces beyond your control. But when you train your mind to remain unmoved by the external financial world, you become the master of your financial destiny. The world respects those who remain calm in financial chaos, who don't crumble under pressure. When you embody this mindset, you command financial authority without saying a word. You move through the financial world with power, presence, and unshakable confidence. Think of the most influential financial individuals. They were not those who reacted impulsively to every market slight or criticism. Instead, they moved with an air of control. Their strength was not in their ability to perfectly predict markets, but in their ability to remain unaffected by noise and stick to their plan. This is the true power of behavioral mastery. Consider the philosophy found in self-mastery and success literature. The most powerful lesson is that thought precedes action. What you think, you become. If you constantly react emotionally to the financial world, you give away your power. But if you cultivate an unwavering mindset, your financial reality bends to your will. Those who achieve great financial things in life understand this principle. Control the mind, and you control your financial reality. The weight of your past shapes your financial self. Imagine two people faced with a market downturn. One panics, selling everything. The other remains calm, seeing opportunity. Their reactions seem crazy to each other, but no one is crazy. They are simply acting based on their own unique financial history. The person who grew up during high inflation sees risk differently than someone who grew up with stable prices. Someone who lost everything in a previous crash behaves differently than a young tech worker who's only known a bull market. Your personal history, your experiences with money, ego, pride, even marketing, are scrambled together in your head. They form a narrative that makes sense to you in that moment. Understanding this is key to mastering your own financial behavior, and to being less judgmental about the crazy things others do. It's not about suppressing your history, but understanding how it shapes your present decision. This is controlling your inner world. 3. The unseen forces, luck and risk. True financial power also understands the role of forces you cannot control. Luck and risk. You can have the best education, the best training, and still be massively outperformed by someone with none of it. This isn't just about skill. Financial outcomes are often driven by luck, independent of intelligence or effort. And where there is luck, there is risk. The line between being bold and being reckless can be thin, and without acknowledging luck and risk, it's often invisible. You cannot reliably emulate someone's extreme success, as luck likely played a high role. The lesson isn't to become passive, it's to respect these unseen forces, and focus on what you can control, your behavior and your response to outcomes. This is detaching from the illusion of control. 4. The moving goalpost. The danger of never enough. Imagine you achieve a financial goal. You feel good for a moment, but then you look around. You see others with more. Your expectations rise with your results. This is the danger of the moving goalposts. Ambition increases faster than satisfaction. Feeling like you're falling behind pushes you to take greater and greater amounts of risk. This is giving away your peace to external comparisons. Some people, even those with unimaginable wealth, risked everything they had for more they didn't need. They lost invaluable things like reputation, freedom, family, happiness, because they had no sense of enough. Enough isn't about settling for too little. It's realizing that an insatiable appetite for more will eventually push you to the point of regret. Mastering this is about refusing to let external measures dictate your inner state of satisfaction. It's understanding that your worth is not measured by comparing yourself to others. It's about controlling your desires, not letting them control you. The silent builder. Compounding. Real financial power often moves in silence. It doesn't seek attention or validation. It simply acts consistently over time. This is the power of compounding. It's counterintuitive. Small, consistent actions, like saving early, yield results that feel impossible with linear thinking. The most powerful financial book should be called Shut Up and Wait. It's about letting time work its magic. It's not the loud, flashy investment strategy that wins. It's the one you stick with, quietly building wealth over decades. This is the essence of real power moving in silence. 6. The survival instinct. Staying wealthy. Getting wealthy requires taking risks, but staying wealthy requires a different mindset. Frugality and paranoia. It's a survival mentality. Few gains are worth risking ruin over. You need to avoid ruin at all costs, because you have to stick around long enough for compounding to work wonders. This isn't about being timid. It's about being financially unbreakable. It's recognizing that long-term optimism needs short-term paranoia to keep you alive. While others chase the highest returns and feel invincible, risking everything, you focus on simply surviving. And in that survival, you find the biggest return. This is training yourself to stay calm and unshaken, no matter what. 7. The power of letting go. When things go wrong, mastering the psychology of money means being okay with a lot of things going wrong. In finance, a small number of events account for the majority of outcome. This means most of your individual investments, ideas, or attempts will fail. And that is normal. You can be wrong half the time and still make a fortune. The key is learning to detach from failures and setbacks. Don't internalize them as personal tragedy. See them as data, learning experiences, stepping stones. This is about letting go of the expectation that everything must go right. Embrace the reality that some things are beyond your control, and redirect your energy to what moves you forward. When you stop identifying with failures, you free yourself to rise above them. This is the power of detachment. 8. The true currency. Freedom and control. People want money because they think it will make them happier. Happiness is complex, but there is a common denominator. People want to control their lives. The ability to do what you want when you want with who you want for as long as you want is priceless. It is the highest dividend money pays. More than your salary, the size of your house, or the prestige of your job. Money's greatest value is its ability to give you control over your time, to buy independence and autonomy. Elderly Americans looking back on life valued relationships, purpose, and time with family far more than accumulating wealth. They didn't say chase money to buy things. They didn't say be wealthier than your neighbors. They didn't say pick your job based on future earnings. They said controlling your time is the highest dividend. Mastering this means aligning your financial decisions towards buying your time and option, not just accumulating dollars for the sake of it. 9. The invisible wealth, what you don't see. Consider the paradox. Wealth is what you don't see. People often want money to gain respect and admiration from others, and they think buying expensive things will bring it. But you don't want the fancy car. You want the respect and admiration you think the car will bring. The reality? Most people are only impressed by the car, not the person driving it. They are imagining themselves in the driver's seat. Wealth is not the car, the house, the watch, the clothes you buy. Wealth is the nice cars not purchased, the diamonds not bought, the money you don't spend. It's the financial assets you haven't converted into visible stuff. Spending $1 million is literally the opposite of being a millionaire. True power here lies in not seeking validation through possessions, in standing firm in your own self-worth, in not caring what others think of your lifestyle choices. That self-respect commands more respect than any expensive purchase ever could. Because wealth is invisible, it's hard to learn about it by imitating others. Mastering this means shifting your focus from outward appearance to inner financial strength. 10. The savings muscle. Ego and humility. Let me convince you to save money. It's not about earning a huge income. Building wealth has little to do with your income level, and it has less to do with investment returns than you might think. It's about your savings rate, and your ability to save is more in your control than investment returns ever will be. The most powerful way to increase your savings isn't to raise your income, it's to raise your humility. Saving is the gap between your ego and your income. Spending beyond the comfortable basics is often just ego approaching income. A way to show others you have money. It's a daily struggle against the instinct to compare yourself to others. People with enduring financial success don't give a damn what others think about them. You save because you desire less, and you desire less if you care less about others' opinions. Savings doesn't need a specific goal. Saving for the unpredictable is one of the best reasons. Every bit of savings gives you flexibility, options, time to think. It's a hedge against life's inevitable surprises. View saving as training a muscle. The more you practice choosing saving over spending, the stronger your financial position becomes. 11. Beyond rationality, choose reasonable. You are not a spreadsheet. You are a person, a screwed up, emotional person. Aiming to be coldly rational in finance is unrealistic. Aim to be pretty reasonable instead. Reasonable is more realistic, and you have a better chance of sticking with it. Sticking with a strategy during tough times is the most important thing for long-term success. What looks like rational thinking can become a liability if it makes you abandon your plan when things get difficult. The reasonable investors who love their technically imperfect strategies have an edge, because they are more likely to endure. This isn't about suppressing your feelings entirely. It's acknowledging that financial decisions have a social component and are influenced by emotions, and managing those emotions so they serve you, not rule you. 12. Embracing surprise. The future is unpredictable. Things that have never happened before happen all the time. History is useful for understanding human behavior. Greed, fear, stress. But it is a poor guide for predicting specific future events or market trends. Experience can lead to overconfidence, not forecasting ability. When you are surprised, the correct lesson isn't "I won't make that mistake again." The correct lesson is, the world is difficult to anticipate. The world is surprising. Letting go of the need for certainty, accepting that you cannot control the world, but you can control your response to it. This is detaching from expectations, flowing like the river, adapting to what comes. 13. Your safety net. Room for error. Because the world is surprising and plans don't always go according to plan, you need room for error. It's your margin of safety. It helps protect you from things you'd never imagine. It's a hedge against the unpredictable. A sole reliance on a paycheck without savings is a major point of failure. You don't need a specific reason to save. Save for the unknown. Planning for your plan not going according to plan is the most important part of every plan. This creates resilience, an unshakable presence that can navigate life's challenges. 14. The changing you, your future self. You are a poor forecaster of your future self. Your goals, desires, and personality will change over time. This is the end of history illusion. It's hard to make enduring long-term financial decisions when you don't know what future you will want. Avoid the extreme ends of financial planning. Extremes might feel exciting now, but their benefits wear off. Their downsides become enduring regrets, especially if they force you to live a life your future self despises. Embrace the idea of letting go of goals made by a past, different self. Don't let sunk costs make your future self a prisoner to your past. Mastering this is about giving yourself permission to change your path, staying in control of your financial destiny even as you evolve. 15. The cost of admission. Nothing is free. Everything has a price. The price of financial success, like good investment returns, isn't always obvious up front. It's not just dollars and cents. It's volatility, fear, doubt, uncertainty, regret. These are easy to overlook until you're experiencing them. Trying to get returns without paying this price is trying to get something for nothing, which rarely ends well. The key is to view market volatility as a fee, not a fine. A fee is the price you pay for getting something good, like admission to a park. A fine feels like a penalty for doing something wrong. When wealth declines, viewing it as a fine makes you want to stop, to avoid future fines. But viewing it as a fee, the necessary price of admission for long-term gains, allows you to stick around. Mastering this is accepting that problems exist, but not letting them get under your skin. It's controlling your reaction to the inevitable costs of the market. Find the price, then be willing to pay it. 16. Play your game. Know what matters to you. Most consumer spending is socially driven, influenced by people you admire, done because you want people to admire you, but you don't see their goals, worries, or the financial game they are playing. Someone might need to spend money to maintain an appearance for their career. If you imitate them without understanding their context, you're playing their game, not yours, and you're likely heading for disappointment. Few things matter more with money than understanding your own time horizon and not being persuaded by people playing a different game than you are. Mastering this means defining your game. What are your goals? Your priorities? Your values? Write them down. Then anything unrelated to your game, market noise, others' flashy spending becomes irrelevant. You don't pay attention to it, and you are in no danger of being swayed by it. This is defining what truly matters and refusing to waste energy on what doesn't serve you. 17. The pull of doom. Why pessimism seduces. Why do people like to hear that the world is going to hell? Pessimism is seductive in finance. It makes you sound wise. It triggers our instinctual aversion to loss. Threats seem more urgent than opportunities. Financial issues are ubiquitous. A recession affects everyone, grabbing attention. Optimism is generally the better long-term bet because the world tends to get better. But it's easy to dismiss. Mastering this means understanding the allure of pessimism, not letting short-term fears override long-term potential, maintaining a mindset that is both paranoid enough to survive and optimistic enough to see growth. This is about controlling your mind and not letting fear dictate your action. 18. The stories we tell. Believing anything. The more you want something to be true, the more likely you are to believe a story that overestimates its odds. When you have limited control and high stakes, like with your money, you are more likely to believe appealing fiction. Forecasts about markets, stories about guaranteed high returns, schemes that seem too good to be true. We desperately want to believe we live in a predictable, controllable world. So we cling to stories and authoritative-sounding people who promise to satisfy that need. The illusion of control is more persuasive than the reality of uncertainty. Mastering this involves recognizing this bias in yourself and others, understanding that incentives influence beliefs, and relying instead on room for error and flexibility to navigate uncertainty. It's controlling your inner world and not giving power to external opinion. All together now, mastering your financial self. So how do you master the psychology of money? How do you become unshaken and in control? It's not about finding perfect answers. There is no single right answer in finance, just the answer that works for you. It's a process of training your mind and your behavior. Find humility when things go right, because luck and risk are real. Be forgiving when things go wrong. It's never as bad as it seems. Less ego, more wealth. Wealth is the gap between your ego and your income. Manage money to sleep well at night. This is the best universal guidepost. Increase your time horizon. Time is the most powerful force. Be okay with a lot of things going wrong. It's normal. Focus on your portfolio, not individual outcomes. Use money to gain control over your time. It's the highest dividend. Be nicer and less flashy. Humility and kindness bring more respect than possession. Just save. Save for things you can't predict. Define the cost of success and be ready to pay it. View volatility as a fee, not a fine. Like risk, but be paranoid of ruin. You must survive to succeed. Define the game you're playing. Don't be influenced by others playing a different game. Respect the mess. Smart people disagree. Find what works for you. True strength in money, just like in life, isn't about avoiding problems. It's about mastering your reaction to them. It's about owning your behavior, letting go of what you can't control, controlling your mind, defining your own path, seeking independence over validation, building a life that maximizes for control over your time and allows you to sleep well at night. Master this, and you master your money. And in a world where everyone is overly concerned with external validation and chasing endless growth, the one who stands firm in their own financial self-worth will always rise above the rest. You trained for this, you built it, and nothing can take it from you.